Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the Siley Stats YouTube channel. So today you might notice something a little different, and that is that I no longer have a face, or more accurately, I no longer have a face a camera showing my face. And the reason for that is I'm filming in a different location, and the lighting is pretty awful. Uh, Half of my face was just shrouded in darkness, so I thought this was better to just not have a face cam this video. I trust that you guys won't really care, and if you do, too bad. So as you can see, we have a lot to get to today. But first, of course, we need to do our random team shout out. So congratulations to Fulshear from Texas for winning second in anatomy at Gopher Invitational. Congrats, Fulshear. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into our things to talk about here. So, we're going to start right at the top here. So, uh, this news came to us a little while ago. Of course, I haven't made a video in a little bit. There hasn't been too much to talk about, every like week, but when that starts to pile up, of course, you get more. So here, this happened a little bit ago, but Novi beat Troy at their regionals, but not by that much. I'll show you, hopefully, if I can remember the name of the tournament. If I just type Michigan, will that work? Is this it? Let's go. I'm the best. All right. So here you can see Novi got 60 and Troy and Athens as well got 64. So while Troy definitely Novi definitely beat Troy here, it's not by that much. I mean, regional competitions are regional competitions. Like they're going to have probably closer scores once more competitive teams join in from the rest of the state. These scores will widen, but regardless, these scores are really close. And another big takeaway here is that Athens actually tied Troy here. So, right now I have Troy as the runner up here in Michigan. Once I get over here, here we go. You can see I have Troy as the runner up, but Athens, I mean, pretty close competition there. I am still putting Pioneer ahead of Athens just because Pioneer is the more traditionally competitive team from Michigan. I think they'll, and again, once more competitive teams from the rest of the state are added in, I expect these scores to distance themselves from each other. But still, very strong performance from Athens. Pretty strong performances all around. In fact, maybe a bit of an underperformance from Novi, but not really too much to talk about there. Let's see if I missed anything. So I took this as more evidence that Troy and Novi are very closely matched here. Not necessarily evenly matched. I still think Novi will pull it out at states and get their state championship. But Troy could be really close, and I mean, under the right circumstances, we could be seeing a Troy victory here in Michigan. That would be very impressive. It's been a bit of a year for upsets. The first three state competitions we had didn't really go the way I thought they would, especially here in Massachusetts and Minnesota. Those two definitely didn't go the way I thought they would. But that's how it is sometimes, and that's what makes this interesting, right? And yep, I already talked about that. So yes. There could be four competitors for the Michigan seats to nationals: Novi, Troy, Pioneer, and Athens. So let's move on. Let's talk about some of the changes to the top 30 now. By the way, so this top 30 is I'm going to call this my quote unquote official top 30. I'm not going to go through each one of these individually in this video. Maybe in a future video I will. But yes, this is my quote unquote official top 30 for now. Let's talk about the changes though. So here in the top 10, we have two main changes, and they're both with these Wisconsin teams. So first, let's talk about Marquette. So Marquette, in the last video, I had Marquette behind Seven Lakes, and I think this wasn't recently, but I noticed that Marquette actually almost beat Mason at UMich, and I'll show you this. So here you can see their scores, and neither of these teams looks like they were unstacked. And Mason, of course, is one of the best teams in the country, arguably the best team in the country. They've been having ridiculously strong performances all year. They got pretty close to beating Troy here at or MIT. And Troy, of course, I have ranked as the best team in the nation. So, Marquette getting close to beating Mason is very noteworthy. You could even make an argue that they should go above like Harriton and maybe even Monte Vista. I'm not going to quite put them that high, but I did move them up because of that very strong performance. Next, let's talk about Madison West. So Madison West, I might be way underrating Madison West. Like they're a really, really, really good team this year. Let's go past all this. Let's go to their latest performance here at Badger Invitational. Just this past weekend, I believe. Yeah, it's Friday now, of course, but about a week ago, March 15th, at Badger Invitational, they did very, very well, and not just against some random teams, against Stevenson. Now Stevenson, of course, this year they haven't been doing the best. Top 20 is still pretty good, but if you're Steve, I've said this almost every video. If you're Stevenson, you really want to see yourself higher and doing better here. Um, but yeah, it's just a really, really strong performance against Stevenson. Even when you super score them, it's not even very close. And this is about the score difference I would expect to see between 19th and 8th or ninth. I did move them up. I think, yeah, I actually moved them up 2 places because of that very, very strong performance. So congratulations, Madison West. And not regardless, but other than that, Madison West, just a fantastic year so far. You can see here, beating New Trier, almost beating Marquette as well. These two teams are very, very close. Wisconsin could be, again, it's been a bit of a year for upsets so far. Excuse me. So Wisconsin, I wouldn't be surprised honestly if Madison West took the state championship away from Marquette this year. That's a pretty strong possibility. I'd still give Marquette about a 60 to 65% chance of winning this, but Madison West, they're they're a serious team this year. God, Madison West, just so good. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, Madison West, here again, very close to Marquette. At Solon, this might be one of their weaker performances overall. They did get kind of close to beating Cumberland Valley. Honestly, all of these scores are really close here. And Cumberland Valley, has been a bit inconsistent this year, unfortunately. But yeah, probably one of their weaker performances here at Solon. But regardless, I mean, 10th at MIT, fantastic performance there. And just just very, very strong performances here at Slinger. They actually beat Marquette. I don't know, this might have been Marquette's B team. Maybe not, maybe not. But yeah, anyway, Madison West, just a very, very strong team this year. And let's move on. So we have a bit of a change here. So you'll notice this orange. Now, Walton isn't a new addition to my list here. But because I had them on the list earlier this season, but then I took them off in favor of Chattahoochee here. But given their recent regional performances, I've put Walton ahead of Chattahoochee in the race for Georgia's second seat to nationals. So this is what I have over here, these regional performances. Usually I don't care too much about regional performances, but in this case, these are very noteworthy. So this one is Walton and Fulton Sciences regional. So Cobb County here. If we super score, you can see they're tied. Exactly. Now, I'm not entirely sure if Walton was unstacked. They might not have been, in fact. But I mean, if they were, yeah, this is very, very strong for them. Honestly, even if they weren't, this is still really strong for Walton, tying Fulton Science, the presumed Georgia state champion. Very noteworthy. And then if we look at Chattahoochee's, they actually lose their regional. Like they didn't lose in the fact that they're not going to states, but they didn't get first. I mean, even if you super score, they didn't get first, and if you don't super score, I mean that is a very poor performance. I won't sugarcoat it here. Sorry, Chattahoochee. But if this was your stacked team, you have a lot of work to do before states, losing to Brookwood here. And again, even if you super score, like that score gets closer, but still not great. So yeah, Chattahoochee's got some work to do before states, it would seem. I mean, if we, let me see if I can get that back because I wanted to. What regional competition was that? um, what is this? Hold on, I've just seen this here. Um, how have I missed this? Walton and Chattahoochee are in the same region? Georgia. I'm not really sure what this is. This might be well, no, because Fulton Science isn't here. I'm really not sure what this is because as we just saw, Walton and Chattahoochee are not. Oh, I'm really dumb. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm very stupid. I'm looking at the 2023 regional results. Let's get that out of here. And my entire point is just kind of nullified. I will leave this in the video so you guys can see my mistakes. It's definitely not because I do little to no editing. But anyway, okay, you can see my decision making process in live time here. So this is this year, and I guess Walton and Chattahoochee are in the same region, and this actually just reinforces my point here that in fact actually this is even better evidence for my point. I'd say Chattahoochee really. I mean, unless they for whatever reason. Okay, I'm still a little confused about what this is though, because usually if it's a regional competition, they'll put like asterisks next to the teams that made it to states, but they didn't do that here. Um, I'm very confused as to what that is. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever this is, whatever tournament this is, whether this is a regional or like some sort of hybrid of regions, it's called a regional tournament, but whatever. Regardless, um, this is a very strong performance for Walton. Honestly, a very weak performance for Chattahoochee. Again, unless for whatever reason they they scratched an electric vehicle. I guess did they like forget it at their school? I don't know. Let's Okay, here again. You can see my decision making here. Let's exclude electric vehicle. There we go. Okay, that's still not great for Chattahoochee, but better if we exclude robot tour. I guess also they didn't do great in that. Still not even really close. Yeah, just all these sixth places really drag them down. Just a general underperformance from Chattahoochee. I'm actually kind of surprised. Again, unless for whatever reason they only brought their B team to their regional competition, this is a very poor performance from Chattahoochee, and either that or just a really strong performance from Walton, or some combination of the two. Regardless, Walton, pretty strong team. In fact, I might even move them ahead of Carmel. That's a really good regional performance for them against Chattahoochee, and apparently Brookwood's also pretty decent. So yeah, pretty real again, really strong performance from Walton, very poor performance from Chattahoochee. I'm sorry, Chattahoochee, but you got some work to do before states if you want to make it to nationals. Okay, now with that confusion hopefully out of the way, let's oh yeah, but if you guys know anything that I don't about this, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know what's going on here. Because like I said, usually in if it's a regional competition, usually they'll have stars. Like I'm gonna see if I can show you what I mean here. Um, let's see if this does. Yeah, so here, these schools that are starred have made it to the state competition. That's what this means. But that competition that we just looked at didn't have those. So I almost wonder what some states will do is they'll like take since all the regions have the same tests, they'll take the raw scores from those tests and they'll add them up. And then you can kind of get like a pre-states state ranking, if regionals was states, how would teams have ranked? Um, that might be kind of what that was, but I don't know. Usually that stuff doesn't go on Duosmium, first of all. And second, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a reason to justify Chattahoochee's really poor performance. If anyone has any like inside information in this, let's exclude Witty too, I guess. I don't know. An electric vehicle and robot tour. Okay, there the scores are kind of closer, but again, I mean, that doesn't change the fact that they bombed all of these events. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have any inside information on what's going on with Chattahoochee here, please let me know because this is rather confusing for me on their very poor performance here. But anyway, let's move on to some state results, shall we? We have 4 new state results to look at. So let's start with South Carolina here. So South Carolina, congratulations to Clinton from South Carolina for being the state champion yet again. This is a state that I did predict correctly. I predicted Clinton would win. And congratulations to Spring Hill for being the runner-up and Academic Magnets. I read that right, yeah? Yeah. Academic Magnet for getting 3rd place in South Carolina. Congratulations all. Now, let's move on to Montana, I think. Is that MT? I think so. Yeah, Montana. All right. Congratulations to Hamilton for again being the state champion from Montana. And congratulations to Capital for being the Montana runner-up. And Corvallis for getting 3rd. Congratulations. And Delaware. So let's look at Delaware, and then we'll get on to the really interesting one. So Delaware, congratulations to the Charter School of Wilmington for yet again being the Delaware state champion. Congratulations to Tower Hill for being the runner-up, and Cab Callaway School of the Arts for getting 3rd. Now, I do have a bit of notes here for Delaware. So if you look at the Delaware state tournaments, let's do this real quick. Delaware, we already saw the results from this year. Let's look at last year. Last year, the Charter School of Wilmington's score really wasn't that high. And I mean, you can kind of see why, right? Like, I don't know if they would consider these bombs, but I certainly would. At the state competition, getting below 10th, especially for a state champion like this in any one event, I would consider a bomb. And they had quite a few of them. Let's see if the pattern holds true here. And yeah, again, Charter School of Wilmington really just not a great score. I mean, they still pulled it out, of course. So if you want to consider that a win, then go for it. But yeah, their team scores just aren't very good for at the state competition. And if you compare that to a lot of these other, state champions, just the ones that we have, I mean, almost all of these are below 100, except with the exception of Minnesota here. But yeah, all of these are below 100 with the exception of Minnesota. So, hey, Delaware teams, your state champion really, I don't want to say they're really not that good. But, on the national spectrum, let's see. Yeah, I mean, bottom 10, not great. Yeah, their state scores really aren't that impressive. So with some effort, you can beat them next year, okay? If anyone from Delaware is watching, if with some some hard work and dedication next year in your team, you can beat the Charter School of Wilmington and go to nationals. How cool would that be? To overthrow the state champion here. You can do it. I believe in you. And if you do, and the Charter School of Wilmington, gets scared that someone's going to beat them, that'll make them work harder, and you'll get into this arms race of like who's going to win Delaware. That's why a bunch of these states are competitive. I mean, Pennsylvania. If we look at Pennsylvania, where is Pennsylvania? Here it is. Like there are 3 really good schools in Pennsylvania, and they're all competing for Pennsylvania's 2 national seats. That's one of the reasons, anyway, why Pennsylvania is so competitive. Because if these schools weren't competing with each other, if it was just a shoe-in for, Lower Merion and Harriton all the time, no one would really try because they don't have to. Like they don't have they wouldn't have to get their um, position, their seat to nationals. If they don't care about being nationally competitive, they just want to go to the tournament. Then they kind of give up on being competitive nationally and are just competitive in their state. And that happens to a lot of these states. Like there's just one team that always dominates the state tournament, and no one really challenges them because either they don't feel like it or they don't think they can win or whatever. But no, you can win. I know you can win. So I really want to see a competitive Delaware next season. That's your goal, Delaware teams. Make Delaware competitive. Um, so yes, now with my little speech out of the way, let's move on to the New Jersey state results. So these are a little interesting. That's not New Jersey. Where's New Jersey? Where? Oh, here it is. Okay, I just don't know the alphabet. All right, so in New Jersey, these results are a little interesting. So if you might at a glance look at this and say, oh, Montgomery won, Westminster, Plainsboro, North got second. Wow, that's not that interesting. But look at these scores. Montgomery's score is actually pretty close to Westminster, Plainsboro. Looks like with just a little bit stronger of a performance and even just one event, Westminster might have been able to clinch this for their team. So let's take a look at these a little closer, shall we? So Montgomery, I have ranked, of course, as one of the best teams in the nation. They almost got beat by the state runner up here, and Westminster still might end up going to nationals. It depends on how many teams don't send a team to nationals. But let's take a closer look at these scores. So they're doing fine. Okay, seventh, not great, but not terrible. And then you get to Robot Tour. So yeah, they had a very poor performance in Robot Tour. I'm not sure what the reason is. If you know, again, feel free to leave a comment letting me know. But yeah, for whatever reason, they bombed Robot Tour, and that really tanked their score. If we exclude Robot Tour, you can see how much more thoroughly they beat Westminster Plainsboro. So yeah, Montgomery almost had a bit of a scare there. They almost lost their bid to nationals, at least their immediate bid. Again, if some other states decline their bid to nationals, then New Jersey will get a second seat. But yeah, they almost lost their guaranteed seat to nationals because of their poor performance in Robot Tour. So we learned this lesson time and time again. Do not bomb events. I know, easier said than done, but prioritize not bombing events to, just doing well in a lot of events. Does that make sense? Like, don't aim to get. I mean, yeah, aim to get first, but like, don't prioritize that. Prioritize not bombing events if you want to do well. At least on the national spectrum. If you're a smaller team and you just want to focus on one event, so you can medal in that one event on the or on the state level, that's fine. But if you're a team with national ambitions, really try your best not to bomb events. Focus on those events that your team isn't as strong at, and obviously keep working on all of your events. But again, focus on the ones your team is weaker at. That will overall improve your team more than focusing on events that you're already good at. So I hope that made sense. I hope you could make sense of my incoherent ramblings. Yes, I believe that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Again, I apologize for no face cam. The lighting in my recording, what's the word? Recording location this time is not very good. So, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.